Smallpox was the deadliest disease in history. In colonial Boston, the smallpox epidemic arrived about every 12 years. But by early 1721, the town was 6 years overdue. That meant there were many more people, young children especially, for the disease to prey upon. Everyone feared that when smallpox finally returned, its devastation would be unprecedented. And they were right. In the decades following the 1692 Salem Witch Trials, Boston minister Cotton Mather put aside many of his superstitious beliefs and embraced Enlightenment science. In 1716, he came across an exotic procedure that was said to produce lifelong immunity to smallpox. When the 1721 outbreak spiraled out of control, Mather urged Boston's physicians to try the procedure. Only one doctor agreed. On June 26, 1721, Zabdiel Boylston began the Boston inoculation experiment. That day marked the beginning of the end of smallpox. Boylston's inoculation experiment caused an uproar. Many people believed that making an incision in the arm of a healthy person and implanting it with pus from the sores of a smallpox patient was madness. An enterprising young printer named James Franklin seized upon the outrage to start a newspaper. His New England Courant mocked and criticized both the government and the clergy. When he was thrown in jail for seditious libel, his apprentice took over. That young man's name was Benjamin Franklin. The printing house offered Ben the books he needed for his fabled self-education. It was also where James's ingenious friends gathered to discuss and debate books, pamphlets, and radical ideas. Ben soaked it all in. His front row seat for the inoculation controversy crystallized his thinking about medicine, politics, diplomacy, and freedom of expression. It also inspired him to pen his first essays as Silence Do Good. Smallpox and James Franklin weren't Boston's only problems. For several years, a hard-drinking politician named Elisha Cook had been battling the Massachusetts royal governor for control of the colony. By 1721, Cook's political organization, the Boston Caucus, was powerful enough to obstruct nearly every policy dictated by Governor Samuel Shute and the Crown. England threatened to revoke the colony's charter and place it under martial law, and Cook was accused of plotting to assert the independency of New England. Several decades later, his caucus, now under the leadership of Samuel Adams, would indeed launch the American Revolution.